Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
And Marianne behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And today, Mare, I am going to share with our food friends how to make a cake mix upsizer. Now, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Well, you and I have had this discussion before about this thing that food manufacturers like to do. They, instead of raising the price, they just
Give you less.
give you less. And so it's not a price increase. But I'm going to tell you, you can slice it and dice it any way you want. When you pay the same but get less, that is a price increase, okay? Because you are paying more per ounce. It just is that simple. You can do the math 6 ways from Sunday. It's a price increase. So, one of the things that I've noticed, and this was a gradual thing, was cake mix. So, Marianne, for decades, and I mean decades, a box of cake mix was 18.5 ounces. It just was. And then, all of a sudden, they started, it was 17.5 ounces. And then it was 16.5. And now it's down to 15 and 1/4 ounce. Okay? Duncan Hines, 15 and a quarter ounce. Baker's Corner, which is the Aldi brand, 15 and a quarter. Another Duncan Hines, 15 and a quarter. Betty Crocker, 15 and a quarter. Pillsbury, doesn't matter the brand, okay? 15 and a quarter. Now, that in and of itself isn't like a huge tragedy, but they didn't lower the price of the cake mix. So, again, price increase, right?
Right.
But the other thing is, and I know it's just a 3 ounce difference, roughly 3 1/4 ounce. People have said, gosh, that cake, when I make a 9x13 cake, it doesn't rise as much. I say, no. It rises just as much as it's ever going to rise. You'd have less batter you're putting in the pan. So the cake is smaller because there's less mix. It's that easy. It's that simple. And so these cake pans, 9x13, 9-inch, 8-inch round pans, we've been making cakes in them for generations using cake mix that was 18.5, and now it's not. So, can't do anything about that. I mean, we can't get the manufacturers to go back to the other size. They could have just raised the price. I mean, we would have griped about it, but kept it the same size. But whatever. They, by the way, you pointed this out. They didn't change the box size either, so that's another fake out. Anyways, you've seen it. You've seen it in other things, Mare. We've talked about it. So there is a way though that when you use a cake mix, you can get it back up to the old size. So what you want to do is make a batch of cake mix upsizer. Okay? And it's really simple. And just keep it on hand in the cupboard next to your cake mixes. So if you're making a cake, you can just add some upsizer to the cake mix and go on and use the rest of the oil and the water and the eggs just as you're supposed to. But it'll give you back some of the volume that we've lost in the downsizing of the cake mix, okay? So, here we go. Real simple to do, Mare. I've got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay? We're going to put that in our bowl. Use all-purpose flour, friends, because self-rising flour has other things in it, like baking soda and baking powder, and might even have some salt. You don't want to use that because we're going to add those things in ourselves. Use all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups. The recipe's in the description of the video, like usual. Okay, 1.5 cups of AP flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar. You with me so far, sis?
Yep.
Okay. Now we are going to put in our leavener. We're going to start with baking powder, okay? We need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2. Okay? And then we need some baking soda. Just 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So put those things in a bowl and get your whisk. You could sift these together if you wanted to. Use a sifter, and that would be a good way to incorporate them all. But I'm just going to whisk here. Stir it all together, and we're done. We've made our upsizer. Not complicated. I find the best way you could store this, you want to store this in something that's airtight, keep it fresh. So I use a wide mouth quart mason jar. You could use, something else if you wanted to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, like so. But of course, I use cake mixes for all kinds of things, not just to make a yellow cake or a white cake or whatever, strawberry cake. We know that cake mixes make good starters, good foundations for other things. Like, I've got a banana cake recipe here on Cavalcade of Food that starts with a white cake mix. I think I just made that for somebody's birthday, didn't I?
I think so.
I think so. Okay. So, all right, now we have our cake sizer. Here it is. So how do you use this? You're getting ready to make a cake. You put in your cake mix, 15 1/4 ounces. Then what you want to do is, if you're making any cake that is not a chocolate cake, white, yellow, pineapple, strawberry, spice cake, okay? You want to use 6 tablespoons of your upsizer, okay? That brings you back to the old 18.5 ounce mix. 6 tablespoons. Now, I know you're thinking, Mayor, well, I want a chocolate cake. Okay, that's what we do. Because chocolate cake mix has another ingredient in it. Can you guess what it might be?
Cocoa?
Yeah, right on. Right on. So, if you're going to make a chocolate cake mix, put your cake mix in the bowl and add just 4.5 tablespoons of your upsizer, okay, and 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa. All right? Then you'll be back up to snuff with your 18.5 ounce chocolate cake mix. So that's the only difference. If it's a chocolate cake mix, 4.5 upsizer, 1.5 cocoa. If it's any other kind of cake mix, white, yellow, whatever, 6 tablespoons of Upsizer. You got it, Mare?
Got it.
Okay. Pretty easy, isn't it?
Yep.
And easy to do, and easy to make, and easy to get ourselves back. Too bad we can't have these tricks for all the other things that they've downsized. And, you know, I remember I eat yogurt. I love yogurt. I know you do too, Marianne. And I don't know if you remember, but for years yogurt was always 8 ounces. Always. And now it's 6.
Yep.
Again.
Or less.
Or less, you're right. Or less even. So, I mean, the list goes on. Cereal, I mean, everything. So, this is the way it is. But we can do something about cake mix. So, hope you can use this tip when you're baking and get those cakes right back up to full deluxe size. And I'll say thank you to my sister for working the camera here.
You're welcome.
And Marianne and I will say thank you to all of you for watching. And if you like what we do here, please share, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you again real soon right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.